Hello, welcome to this Chinese grammar course. We're going to be learning the grammar points from HSK 1, 2, and 3. And actually, I just want to point out that this is the old HSK system. Right now, there's being developed into a HSK 1 through 8 or 9, something like that. And so this is a different breakdown from what I'm going to be doing, which is the HSK system that was in place up until 2019. For a number of years before 2019 into 2019. So we're going to be learning HSK 1, 2, and 3, and we'll be learning the grammar points from each of them. I'll be giving explanations. And this course is actually part of the larger plan it's a 20-week long, actually a 21-week long plan. There's an intro week where it's a couple of videos introducing Chinese and also a Pinyin course that's on YouTube that I recommend. And then 20 weeks of grammar. And so each week during those 20 weeks, every day for 5 days a week, the idea is to do 30 minutes focused on my stuff, this course, 30 minutes of Skritter, doing the 100 most common radicals and HSK 1, 2, and 3 vocab, and also Pimsleur, so Pimsleur Mandarin Comprehensive 1 through 4. And so all of that, doing all of that for 20 weeks, 5 days a week, all together about an hour and a half a day. Of course, you can watch these videos and do the exercises in isolation. You don't have to do the other thing, but that's part of the plan. So there's a grammar course, Skritter for vocab and learning to write and all that, and then then for listening and speaking, Pimsleur. So I recommend for the Pinyin course, actually for the intro week, it's the Pinyin course and these in 5 videos. The Pinyin course I recommend on YouTube is, I'll put it in the description below. It is Yoyo Chinese Pinyin Course. Yoyo Chinese Pinyin Course, videos 1 through 27. And so I don't know if the young lady's name is Yoyo, but we'll call her Yoyo. So Yoyo does a great job laying it out, and later I'll go through some of my thoughts about it. But it's a great start. So learn Pinyin from Yoyo during this week. Watch the 1 through 20, the 27 videos throughout these 5 days. Watch these 5 videos, and I'll give you an introduction to Mandarin. And then in the next 20 weeks doing these videos. So what can you expect during this course? First, you can expect to see me wearing this shirt a lot because I'm going to do a lot of videos at once and I'm not changing my shirt. So I might change my shirt eventually, but for HSK 1, you're going to see me wearing this shirt. You can expect to have exposure to most of the grammar concepts from HSK 1, 2, and 3. You will get a practice assignment that I'll put in the description below each video of things to do to practice what you learned that day. And then you can expect to learn and remember most or some of what you're learning. So basically, if you're starting from scratch, you've never touched Chinese before, it's not likely you're going to watch these videos, do a few exercises, and it's going to all click and make sense right away. You might have to go back and watch it later. You might forget something so that when you run into it in the future, it'll click then. So you will be exposed to all of them, but you won't remember all of it. That's just probably not realistic. So you can always go back and rewatch videos. I want to answer a question that's probably in some of your minds, and that is learning Chinese really possible? Isn't it like the hardest language in the world? Well, I don't think it's actually the hardest language in the world, but it is kind of hard. And there's I'll talk about some of the hard aspects. First of all, there's characters. So you'll see here, I wrote some characters. There are lots of them to learn. If you really want to read a Chinese newspaper easily, probably you should know about 3,000 Chinese characters. And so that's kind of mind-blowing, 3,000 characters. There are a lot of characters. Chinese is a whole different language system from what you're probably used to. And so it's like, there are very few cognates to Romance languages or English. And so there will be very few words that you look at and you go, oh yeah, that's that. Like in Spanish, you have camera and camera, or camera, I think. And so there are very few of those kinds of things. In pronunciation, there are some really strange sounds that are like completely different from anything you've experienced in Romance languages and many other languages. Learning any language takes time, effort, and running into setbacks. And so that's just That's just a fact about learning languages. So some easy things about Chinese. What makes Chinese like feel possible? First is it actually has a similar word order to English. The basic word order is subject, verb, object. And so that is, that's a good start. Here's a big one. There are no verb inflections in Chinese. That means there's no like conjugation of verbs or changes to verbs based on the tense and all of that. You learn a verb, one form of a verb, and that's it. You don't have to learn any other forms. And so for those of you who study other languages, that's going to be like, what? That makes it so easy. There are also no plurals in Chinese. So it's like, you have apple and apples in English. In Chinese, you just have apple. So that is easier. And there are no definite or indefinite articles. Like in English, you have a, an, and the. In Chinese, that doesn't exist. So you don't have that to worry about. And lastly, and very importantly, the Chinese is a very logical language. While it's very different from anything you've learned before, once you learn the building blocks, you learn a character and its meaning and a word and its meaning. Once you learn those building blocks, you can build things, and the way it lays out is very logical. And in fact, because of the way English is, it comes from different sources, parent languages like Germanic languages and Latin languages and Greek, and all gets thrown together. Sometimes in English you can't see those logical patterns because of the different sources. In Chinese, you have just Chinese, and so you can see a lot of patterns in the way things are built. Okay, you can do this. Don't give up. Just keep going. Just keep learning. Don't whine too much when it's hard. Just keep plowing away, and you will make progress. Stick with it.